this common kitchen vegetable may be more powerful than your prescriptions. You've probably chopped one hundreds of times without a second thought. But what if I told you this one everyday vegetable holds the power to clean your arteries, lower blood sugar, and help your heart beat stronger after 60? Today we're diving into the science of the onion and why it may be the healing tool your doctor hasn't mentioned. Just wait until you hear what happens when you steep the peel. After 60, many seniors find their blood sugar creeping up, their energy dipping, and their doctor quietly adding another medication. It's not your fault. Your cells are changing, your metabolism is shifting. But one humble ingredient, sitting right in your kitchen, has the potential to fight back. This video is for educational purposes only, and always talk to your doctor before making changes. But what we're about to explore is backed by real science, and it could change how you feel after your next meal. 1. How onions fight insulin resistance at the cellular level. If you're over 60 and your blood sugar seems harder to control, it's not just your diet, it's your cells that are changing. You see, insulin, the hormone that moves sugar from your blood into your muscles, works like a key. It knocks on your cells and says, "Open up. There's energy here." But with age, that lock gets sticky. It's called insulin resistance, and it affects nearly 1 in 2 adults over 60. Now, here's where onions come in, and why they're more than just flavor. Inside every red onion is a powerful antioxidant called quercetin. And quercetin, it works like a locksmith for your cells. A 2012 study from the Journal of Medicinal Food showed that quercetin helped restore insulin sensitivity in obese rats, especially in fat tissue and the liver, 2 places where sugar metabolism breaks down with age. In my clinical work, I've seen this play out in real people too, like Frank. Frank is 71, retired firefighter, strong-willed. But he was frustrated, eating right, walking daily, and still labeled pre-diabetic. He didn't want more pills, he wanted answers. So I asked him to try one small shift. Every night with dinner, Frank added half a red onion, sliced thin into his soup or salad. That's it. No fads, no meds. Just the onion. Within 4 weeks, his fasting glucose dropped 18 points. And even more importantly, he felt it. Less fog, more steady energy, no post-meal crashes. That's what happens when your cells start saying yes again. The protocol? Start with half a red onion, sliced raw or lightly sautéed in olive oil. Add it to lunch or dinner 5 times per week. Raw preserves quercetin best, but even cooked, it still helps. But that's not even the surprising part. 2. Are onions too sugary for diabetics? Frank's story is inspiring, right? But every time I share it, someone, usually a very cautious diabetic, asks me, "Wait, aren't onions high in sugar?" It's a fair question, and the answer might surprise you. You see, many seniors have been told to avoid anything with natural sugar, bananas, carrots, even onions. But here's the biological truth. Half a cup of raw onion contains just 4 grams of net carbs, and its glycemic index, about 10 to 20, depending on variety. To put that in perspective, that's lower than most whole grains, sweet potatoes, or even apples. And unlike fruit sugars, onion carbs come wrapped in fiber and sulfur, which means they digest slower and affect your blood sugar far more gently. A 2008 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that low GI foods like onions significantly reduce post-meal glucose spikes, especially in older adults with prediabetes or insulin resistance. But the real magic? Onions don't just not spike your sugar. They actually help your cells absorb it, thanks to compounds that stimulate GLUT4 transporters and reduce inflammation. Let me tell you about Darlene. She's 66, type 2 diabetic for 12 years. And like many, she had learned to fear anything remotely sweet. She hadn't touched an onion in years. Then one day, her granddaughter made her a lentil salad, loaded with raw red onion and parsley. Darlene was hesitant, but she ate it. What happened next? She tracked her glucose with a CGM and saw no spike. Even better, her numbers dipped 2 hours later. She told me, "I realized I'd been avoiding something my body actually needed." That's the deeper truth. Sometimes the foods we fear are the ones that heal. The protocol? Start with 1/2 cup raw red or yellow onion with meals. Pair it with lean protein or healthy fat to stabilize digestion even more. Try it at lunch or dinner, when insulin resistance tends to peak. Even with everything right, this one misstep can set you back 3 onion peels and artery health. By now, you know onions can help your blood sugar, but the real healing power, it's in the part most people throw away. I'm talking about the peel. That thin, papery skin, usually tossed in the trash, is packed with concentrated flavonoids, especially quercetin. But here's what almost no one talks about. When you steep the peel like a tea, you unlock a gentle, steady flow of antioxidant compounds. And those compounds do something remarkable inside your body. Let's zoom in. On a cellular level, onion peel extract activates something called GLUT4. That's a glucose transporter protein, like a door on your muscle cells. When GLUT4 levels go up, more sugar gets pulled out of your blood and into your muscles for energy. Not only that, a 2015 study in nutrition and metabolism found that onion peel extract also improved insulin receptor function and reduced blood glucose in diabetic rats. But it doesn't stop at blood sugar. Those same compounds help scrub your arteries, reducing LDL oxidation and inflammation that contributes to plaque buildup. Imagine your arteries like pipes lined with sticky residue. Now, imagine a gentle rinse that clears the buildup without harsh side effects. That's what onion peel compounds are doing, quietly and daily, inside your vascular system. Let me introduce you to Marcia. She's 68, widowed, and very skeptical of anything natural, but her daughter convinced her to try one thing: onion peel tea. Twice a week, that's all. Marcia simmered the peels in water, strained it, and sipped like a broth. 6 weeks later, her lipid panel showed a 12-point drop in LDL cholesterol. Her doctor was stunned. She said, "I used to throw this stuff away. Now I treat it like medicine." The protocol? Take the dry outer skins from 1 to 2 yellow or red onions. Rinse lightly, then simmer in 2 cups of water for 20 minutes. Strain, cool, and sip 2 to 3 times per week. You can add a cinnamon stick or ginger slice for taste and extra benefit. The next one? Almost no one talks about it. 4. The sulfur compounds that boost insulin. So far, we've seen how onions help your cells respond to insulin. But what if they could also help your body make more of it? That's where sulfur compounds come in. The very chemicals that give onions their strong smell, those eye-watering, tear-triggering oils, are also some of the most powerful natural insulin boosters found in any food. Inside onions are molecules like S-allyl-cysteine and thiosulfonates. They don't just sit in your gut. They travel to your pancreas, the tiny gland just behind your stomach that produces insulin. Here's the amazing part. A 2020 study from the International Journal of Molecular Sciences found that these sulfur compounds stimulate beta cells, the exact cells in your pancreas that create and release insulin. In animal models with type 2 diabetes, this resulted in significantly increased insulin levels, along with lower blood glucose. So, how do you get more of these compounds? Well, this is where most people get it wrong. These sulfur molecules are delicate. They're activated when you crush or slice an onion, but they're destroyed by high heat. That means if you're always frying or caramelizing your onions until brown, you're cooking away the very thing your body needs. Let me tell you about Miguel. He's 66, a retired contractor, sharp mind but tired body. Every morning he'd crash after breakfast, shaky, lightheaded by 10 a.m. We tried something simple. Instead of skipping breakfast or eating toast, Miguel started sautéing one small yellow onion, just 3 to 4 minutes on low heat, and adding it to scrambled eggs. By week 2, the crashes stopped. He said, "I didn't realize onions were doing the work my pancreas couldn't." That's the gift of these sulfur compounds. They're not flashy. They're not sold in supplement bottles, but they quietly support the very organ that controls your blood sugar. The protocol: chop or crush 1/2 yellow onion and let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes before cooking. This allows the sulfur enzymes to activate. Then sauté gently on low heat, no browning. Use this 4 times per week, especially in breakfast or early lunch. Next comes the molecule your body forgets to make after 60. 5. Inflammaging and oxidative stress. Sometimes it's not one big disease that slows us down. It's the low-level wear and tear that builds quietly over the years. Doctors call it inflammaging, a slow chronic form of inflammation that accelerates aging in nearly every tissue: your joints, your brain, your heart, and one of the key drivers, oxidative stress, tiny imbalances in your cells where the damage outweighs repair. It's like rust forming on the inside. But here's the good news. One of the best-known antidotes is quercetin, and onions are one of the richest natural sources. In a 2011 study published in Free Radical Biology and Medicine, quercetin significantly reduced oxidative stress in aging muscle and liver tissue, improving cell function and metabolic resilience. But this isn't just about studies, it's about how you feel. Let me tell you about Betty. She's 73, former music teacher, lives alone. She told me her mornings felt like wading through molasses. Her knees ached, her hands stiff, and the fog, she said, "I used to feel sharp. Now I feel blurry." We didn't do anything radical. Betty just started making a small skillet every other night. 1 cup of caramelized onions, slow cooked in olive oil. She paired it with lean chicken or lentils. After 3 weeks, she didn't just notice less joint pain. She said, "It's like my body remembered how to feel light again." That's what happens when your cells get cleaned up from the inside. Think of it like this. Your cells are metal. Oxidation is rust. And onions? They're your body's polish, restoring shine where age dulled the spark. The protocol? Slice 1 medium yellow or red onion. Sauté on low heat with 1 tablespoon olive oil until golden. Serve warm with dinner 3 times per week, alongside a protein source. This is the part where resistance melts, and healing starts to feel like home. Frank didn't add a pill. Marcia didn't change her whole diet. Miguel didn't buy supplements. And Betty, she just used what was already in her kitchen. Each of them found healing in something simple. An onion, not a cure-all, but a catalyst for steadier energy, cleaner arteries, a body that feels less inflamed. And maybe that's all you need right now, too. What if healing starts with something ordinary? Try one of the recipes this week. Notice how your body responds. And let it be enough for now. If this felt helpful, tap subscribe. We share senior safe strategies like this every week. And as always, talk to your doctor first, because your health story deserves care and guidance. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind to your body,